The Cavaliers have suffered a major loss as shooting guard small forward Max Strus has an ankle sprain and will miss 6 weeks to begin the NBA season as it is coming in hot. Next Wednesday, the Cavaliers at Toronto to begin their season. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest. Unfortunately, some tough news today that we will discuss, but needs to be discussed. And it is the news that hits. It is what comes to you on Cavs Digest. Be sure to subscribe. When something like this happens in season, before the season, unfortunately this was a practice injury, whatever was going on there, we will bring it to you. We will discuss the options. And of course, you can drop down into the comments, give your opinion. Is this a major loss? That'll be the big question of the day. And then, of course, who should start in Max Strus's place? That's what we will talk about. Strus, the injury, who should start in his place, what this means for the Cavaliers now, what it means in the coming time when he is healed and back, and what we may see from the Cavaliers to begin the season. So again, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to drop down into the comments. As we said, Cavaliers announcing this was not after a preseason game, and Kenny Atkinson had said during an interview that Max was held out of practice because of a ankle injury, but the team itself announcing he sustained a right ankle sprain during individual workouts on Thursday, and he will be reassessed after 6 weeks of treatment and rehabilitation. And in the NBA, folks, always assume it's longer. NFL is usually shorter, NBA is usually longer. So I will predict a full 2 months, probably, the Cavs will be without Max Strus. Max Strus, a guy that Cavaliers signed, gave a 4-year deal to last season, a shooter, a hustler on defense. I wouldn't call him a defensive player, but he hustles. He puts that effort in on defense. As you can see, a consistent score of about 13 points almost, grabbing a few rebounds. He's a scrappy hustle player, as I said, 4 assists per game. So, he was very key in that 22 of 23 wins stretch that the Cavs have where they were just rattling games off. He was consistent. He was there. Good size, good effort on defense, good shooting. That's the kind of thing the Cavaliers needed at the time. That's the kind of thing he gave them. In the playoffs, mediocre shooter. That's just the facts. I have said that about Strus is they gave a 4-year contract to a guy that was unplayable for Miami. Miami went to the finals. They played the Denver Nuggets, and Max Strus was unplayable against Miami. That is just the facts. The Miami Heat, unplayable for Miami as Miami benched him. They had to eventually bench him. Could not play him anymore. And look, this team is working on continuity. That's the big thing we have talked about. That's the big thing they have talked about is the continuity of a guy like Strus being involved constantly as a starter, as a person that's playing for your team that is there night in and night out. So that's the main hurt, right? That you want continuity, that you want to start building something, that you want to start going for it, and a guy like Max Strus is already out. So, fine. I will say, bright side-wise, the season hasn't started yet. So, yes, on the fly here in the next few days before the opener on Wednesday night and the home opener on Friday against the Detroit Pistons, you can figure something out, right? You can start adjusting your team, starting to adjust your lineup, start to get that together. What does that look like? That brings us to our next point. What does that look like? What are the options there for the Cavaliers? First one, Isaac Okoro. You got paid. 3 years, $30 million. I have said this, while it has never been a huge leap, while it has never been a gigantic leap, Isaac Okoro has gotten better every year of his NBA career. He is a great defender, a hustle defender, good at defense, multiple positions, and a mediocre three-point shooter that has continued to slowly get better at it, not in the playoffs, but during the regular season. He's kind of your first option just because he's held that position here and there multiple different times before Strus, and then when Strus would miss a game or two, or when you want to set a different lineup for a specific team, he would be the first guy, I would think. Sam Merrill's the next option. Shooter. G League developed Cavaliers player, which they are just goated at. See Joe Harris, see Quinn Cook, see Sam Merrill. If you want to say, hey, we'll figure out the defensive stuff, we'll make up for that. Let's get Sam in there and have him shoot and have him stand in that corner or move off ball, catch the ball and shoot. Beautiful. do it. Get him in there. You want that offense replaced. It's Sam Merrill. That defense, that hustle, that few plays a game, it'll be more than you go with Isaac Okoro. He's defense in that situation. Your third option, and I don't think it's happening. I don't see why it would happen. Jalen Tyson, decent size, can do a little more with the ball in his hands. So, those 4 Strus assists could be a little more. Decent defender, good length, good wingspan. However, has made close to 0 waves coming out of Cavaliers training camp, coming out of the preseason. He had a game where he did what he's always done in college when he's been given the ball plenty. He racked up some assists, racked up some rebounds, and had high scoring. But, again, and we've talked about this in past videos with Jalen Tyson is not going to get the ball the way he did in college with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's just not. So replacing Max Strus, that's going to be tough to do, just overall. The one thing I will say I'm going to miss most about Max Strus, we talked about the shooting, of course, that consistent play that he's given. He's an attitude guy. He's an attitude. He has something out there that nobody else on the team has. And it's not a confidence. It is a get in the ref's ear a bunch. Mock the other team. Get in somebody's face a little bit. Talk to the refs even more. Talk to the other coach a little bit. Kind of a, I don't want to say that, but kind of an asshole attitude where when he's on your team, you love it. When he's on the other team, you can't stand it. Right? I think we all know a player in any sport like that. So if you're like, oh, Billy thinks they're gonna fall apart offensively, no, I don't. I think a guy like Isaac Okoro even, or definitely Sam Merrill, could replace his offense. But for me, for Strus, I mean, it is that attitude. It is that get out of my grill. It is that I can't believe you made that call. I can't believe we're dealing with this tonight. If he doesn't like JB Bickerstaff and doesn't like the way, I'm not saying he does, but what a guy to have Friday night when they play the Detroit Pistons. So I'm going to miss the Strus attitude. Drop down into the comments. Is this a major loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Max Strus? Is this going to be a huge loss? They're going to have to work through it now, and they're going to have to work through it in about 2 months when he comes back. And then, who should replace Max Strus? Okoro, Merrill, or the rookie Jalen Tyson? Drop down into the comments. Let us know what you think. And, of course, be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.